We'll join our hands, close our eyes. Namo Arhantadam, Namo Siddhadam, Namo Ayari Yadam, Namo Uvachayadam, Namo Loe Sabsa Udam. Mangalam Bhagwan Viro, Mangalam Gautamo Gani, Mangalam Kunda Kundatyo, Chain Dharmostu Mangalam, Sarva Mangalya Mangalya, Sarva Kalyana Karakam, Pradhanam Sarva Dharmana, Chainam Jayatu Shasanam, Chainam Jayatu Shasanam, Chainam Jayatu Shasanam. Okay, so I welcome you all on behalf of Mangal Vidyapeeth and Tita Mangalaithan. And we all are here trying to understand Jainism, trying to actually discover it because it's already around and we just need to see and experience it and actually accept it, embrace it. So in the last class, we had a very small and very light discussion about dharma. And we tried also learning about one sutra. So I just am wondering if anybody can recall what we learned about it. Anybody can tell me if at all anybody took any notes and can read out that mantra to me about dharma. What was dharma that we discussed in the last class? Yes, you can raise your hands if you can recall, or you can read, or you can check from your notes. So we would, anybody? Okay, okay, I'll take it forward. So we tried learning about Dhammo Vattu Sahavo, and we saw that the religion. Yes, sorry. Yeah. So we what we actually witnessed, what we actually saw, that dharma is not like a religion is something that you do not, manufacture, or you do not, just give the testaments about. It's very basic nature of dharma, just like a fire is only when a good fire, when it burns, when it lights, right? And a water will be of no use when it starts flying, but does not, quench your thirst or does anything good to you, or does not let the plants grow. So everything has its own nature, and without that nature, that particular thing fails to, prove its existence. What will you call a sugar which is not sweet? Have you ever seen any sugar that is not sweet? Ever? Any salt that is not salty? Right? And what if a sugar loses its sweetness? It will cease to be a sugar. We'll not call it sugar. We'll call it something else. Right? So everything, it stays in its beauty only until when it contains its true nature in itself. And it strictly adheres to it. But the moment we do that, uh, when we start deviating from our basic nature, things start to get a bit uglier, and we do not actually like those things. If your phone is not functioning well, you actually take it for repair, right? Because it's not doing what it is supposed to do. If fire does the same, if air does the same, if water does the same, there is going to be the consequences that we are not able to actually contain them. So in that way, Dhammo Vattu Sahava establishes this fact that we'll only call that thing religion, which stays with the true nature of a particular thing. So the nature of things is called dharma. That is the definition that we actually tried contemplating in the last class. Okay, so now in today's class, what we are going to do, we are going to move forward from it. So the whole intent of dharma is yo dharati uttame sukhe. The whole purpose of religion is to make us happy. That's all the quest that the religion has, right? So that is that we know now. That why do we actually follow any kind of particular belief? Because we think by following that belief, we one day might get happy, right? So the last intent that we have, last and first both, the only intent that we have and that expectation that we have from dharma is the happiness that we are seeking, right? So now today I'll start with a simple question. We all are Jains, I think, and we follow Jainism sooner or later from our lives whenever we started doing that. So my whole point is that one by one, you just experience one thing, that what according to you is Jainism. Like, because we are at that stage where we can actually see other philosophies, other religions as well. And according to your understanding, what according to you is Jainism? So briefly, in a line or two, you can just tell whatever you could gather, whatever you have learned, because since childhood, your parents must have told you something about Jainism, right? So one by one, I think who is coming first to just share just an informal discussion that we are having. Yeah. What according to you is Jainism, as per your understanding, your version of it? Yes, Janav. Great. Yeah, please.
I think Jainism is when you like see the difference between like the other dharmas, the other like religions, like the difference between what Jainism is and what other religions are.
Yes, yes. So what according to you is Jainism?
I think it's when you follow the like rules of what Bhagwan has sent, Mahavir Bhagwan has sent down, and like try
So
to follow
whatever
that.
has been propagated by Lord Mahavira is Jainism. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, to try and
Any
liberate.
specific learning of the Lord Mahavira that you can recall at this stage? Any specific 1, 2, 3, any learnings would do?
Not that I can remember.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. So according to you, anything that has been propagated by Lord Mahavir is Jainism. Very good. Well done. Thank you, Jana. Thank you. We can also see the one. Yeah, Reena ji, can you? Yes, unmute yourself. Yeah.
Sorry, am I unmuted? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically the basic and real truth about existence, really.
Okay. So according to you, the Jainism is about a philosophy that actually explains the basic truth of everything. That according to you,
Yeah.
Jainism is. Okay. Okay. So it's very, in a very intellectual manner, it is that, but I think if you ask this question to anybody who is following any philosophy, they'll hold this sentence true for themselves. Everybody will say, my religion is propagating the truest form of things. Whatever has been propagated by my God is truest, and any deviation from that is not true. So
Yeah.
what makes you think that Jainism says everything which is actually 100% true to its nature?
Well, I guess in terms of comparing it to what you just said, I don't think it's been propagated by anyone. Okay. It's not what somebody has said. It's not what someone's told us. It's just, it is the actual real truth. So it is what it is. You can't even explain that. I can't anyway.
That's brilliant, actually. So it has not been propagated, right? It's time and again has been retold what was already existing, right? So it has not been propagated or manufactured by any particular person like Lord Mahavira, Lord Rishabdeva. Nobody did that. According to you, it's just that whatever the nature of everything is, whatever the truth is, when you repeat that truth, when you talk about that truth, or when you believe that truth, you automatically become Jain, right?
Yeah.
That's what you think. Great. Thank you so much. Anybody else? I just want to know the understanding. By the word Jainism, what comes to your mind? Who will say now? I think Sahilji, will you try?
Yeah, I've always thought about Jainism more as self-reflection. I know we just finished Bhavishan Hamra as well, and that does focus on that. But from the beginning, I've always felt that it's about, why am I doing this? What do I want to do? So you're asking yourself questions. I've always thought, yeah, so it's about that.
So it's actually self-reflection, self-introspection, self-discovery. It's about,
Exactly. Yeah.
it's all about self. Great, great. So according to you, Jainism is very spiritual. It remains very sticky towards soul, right? Great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Thank you so much. Yeah, Jia, will you try also to put forth what's your understanding of Jainism is? Yeah.
They like it's like the truth kind of, and it's also like about your own actions and speech and like your thoughts, and it's like about what you do in your life and like the actions of it and the consequences.
Any one particular instance where you feel that okay, it's talking about truth, or it's talking about any particular thing that fascinated you, that oh okay, Jainism is really great. Anything that you can, like,
Sorry, can you repeat that?
yeah, you just said that it talks about the true nature and anything, it explains about the existence as well. So any particular thing that you can tell me about Jainism that you feel that attracted you towards Jainism?
Um, so like in everything in life, it just tells you like it's kind of like the truth of everything. So I don't know, I can't really think of an example.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chia. Adi, would you want to add anything to it? What do Jains do according to you?
Jainism is
Yeah.
Jainism is about like how our lives and where we are. So we are in the Lok and like that.
Okay.
Our
Okay.
next life. So if we go to there or something, or hell or anything else. So it kind of tells us the truth about what's going to happen and what is
Okay.
happening.
Okay, so you believe in afterlife?
Yeah.
Okay, great, great, great. And what are the possibilities we have in afterlife? What can we become? What can we not?
Manush,
Yeah, Manushya is
Dev
one, right? Dev, very good.
and Narki.
Narki, and one more. Yeah, it's Tiryanj, right?
Dev.
The animal form of life. Very good, Adi. So yeah, so Adi is also focusing on that, just what Jia said, that it also talks about the repercussions, the consequences of her thoughts, actions, and what lies ahead. So Jainism also tells about it. Thank you so much. I can also see Nijaji. Yes, Nijaji. Can you please tell us what according to you Jainism is? Yes, we can't hear you. Mhm. Hello. Okay, I think I think Nisaji, we can't hear you as of now. Fine. So I think we have pretty much all the views on Jainism that we have. I mean, those of you who volunteered to say something. So Jainism, according to uh, if we just take an overview, it has been in this age told by Lord Mahavira. It talks about the very existence, the nature of things. It also tells about the thoughts, words, and action and their consequences, repercussions, life and afterlife, and the past life, everything. That's what Jainism is. But if I'll ask, I'll change this question a bit. And now I'm going to ask about your achievements. Let's say, being a Jain, what is so far has been your biggest achievement? So let's say if you ask this to me, maybe I'll say that I have uh, had a fast for one day where I did not even drink water, or something from Jainism's teaching you imbibed in your life, and that you consider that okay, you did something what has been told to you and you felt good about it. Did you do anything, like it can be anything? You left eating something for a day or for a month, or you went to some place and actually enjoyed, or anything. So since we know that we all are Jains and we know that Jainism is talking about all the good things, all the true things, I just am curious about anything that you're proud of. What have you done being a Jain so far? It can be anything routine that you follow. You do not eat something, or you do certain activity, you chant certain mantra, you do any part or anything, or you have practiced any ikasana, fast, whatever. So one day when I would want, according to you, what you are proud of that as a Jain you do, right? So just, we are still breaking the ice. Actually, I'm trying to get better with you guys so that we are a bit more informal while we learn. So, okay, Janav raised his hand again. Yes, Janav, great.
I think that what I've done as a Jain is that every day, you see like at school, you see your friends eating like non-Jain or stuff, or like, and then you feel like that I've been proud of that I don't eat non-veg because I don't want to hurt any animals, so
Wow.
I don't get pap.
Mm, that's really so you're proud of it. You consider it as a
Yeah,
yeah, right.
because it as like they don't know what Jainism is like, so they just do what they want. But as being a Jain, you can like see what they're doing wrong and what we're doing right.
Correct. So they have no idea what they are committing, right?
Yeah,
What they're going to actually, when it redeems, it's going to be a great eye opener for them, right? But
yeah,
being a Jain, we are really fortunate that we are already saved from such unnecessary violence, right? Which was not at all required. So do you feel sometimes that, oh, fish, that I am a Jain? What if I was not a Jain? I could have enjoyed all these things. Does this thought ever?
yeah. Like I always get the thought that if I was not a Jain, what would I have done? Like, would I have been eating this, or like what would I have done?
Great. I'm really, really glad by your answer. Great, Jana. Okay. Yes, I can see another hand. Reena ji, yes. Yes, please.
Please give a chance to other people to speak as well if they have their hand up.
I cannot see anybody's hand as of now.
Okay, fine. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's a thing of like being proud, but in terms of how Jainism has had an influence on my life, I feel like the way that I think about situations or deal with situations is different to maybe how I would have if I didn't have sort of Jain principles in my life. So if something bad happens, like say if I hurt myself or if I lose something, I don't try and blame it on someone else. I try and think about it that that was what was going to happen in my life because of my past actions, and that everything is pre-written already, and that's just the way it's going to be. And if somebody passes away, then their soul has moved to another body, and everybody has to pass through those cycles. So things like that, it
Yeah.
has an influence on my life.
Yeah, so it has protected you emotionally and it has made you stronger, right? From like it has given you a closer look to life and how to actually endure it. Correct. Great.
Yeah,
That's
definitely. Yeah.
really great. Okay. Who is going to share with me next about their influence, like the Jainism influence in their lives? Anybody? Uh, Kirpa ji, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm reading your name right. Will you be able to share something? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Jay Janendra. So for me, the last few years have been particularly difficult. Just with my son has been quite unwell.
Oh.
So just coming to terms with what is going on with him and getting through the last few years. I think if it wasn't for Jainism, it would have been very difficult, and having the faith in the religion. So for me, the religion has been really, it's been a good test to my knowledge of the religion. I've been able to apply it because knowing what I've already know, it's able to help me deal with things that life throw at you, and being able to accept and just stay positive throughout the situation. So yeah.
Great, great. So not just learning it, actually applying it in life has helped you a lot. Great, great,
Yeah.
great. Thank you so much for your thoughts. Yes, anybody, Niam, I can see you. Yes, can you tell me what is your being a Jain? What are you proud of? What you have done? What do you do?
Um, not eating meat, I think, and
Mhm.
garlic and things like that. Because then you're not killing any animals or anything.
Correct, correct, correct. Very good, very good, very good, Nia. Yeah. Okay. Adi, would you share something?
I'm proud of like how I haven't eaten any. I've been trying to eat things that are like according to the Jain religion. So I've been trying to eat like not root vegetables, not meat, and in pollution I've tried to avoid a lot of foods.
Okay, during Paryushan, you try to maintain that discipline, inner discipline. Very good. Anything you want to add, Jia?
I would just say that like I'm not proud, but like I'm satisfied, like that I have been able to learn about Jainism and apply it to like my life every day.
Okay, great, 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 great. Anybody else who wants to add on to this, like any impact or any change that you have made in your life after knowing about the concepts of Jainism? Janav, I can see your hand raised again. Do you want to add something?
Yeah. So there's also like when I realized that the water, like when I was younger, I knew that like we didn't eat meat or like stuff like that, but I didn't know that the water had like jeevan, you had to filter or boil it. So when I found out about that, it like impacted how I drink the water as well.
Wow, I can see water in your background as well. So great. Okay. Okay, great. So you drink filtered water now.
Yeah, so first of all we put a cloth on the tap, like we change it every week, and then we use that water, boil it, and then so
Oh,
2 times of filtration. Yeah.
That's really something to be proud of. Very good, Chana. Very good, very good. So even Jainism also tells you that not just the meat, it's also about the life everywhere. It's even in the water, in air, fire, right? We learn about it as Sthavar Jivas. Great, really great. So great. I'm really happy to have your answers to these achievements that Jainism has made in your life. Reena ji, are you saying something?
Yeah, just I forgot to also add that if it wasn't for Jainism, then I wouldn't have gone from vegetarian to vegan.
Okay, okay, great. Yeah, so I think Jainism is in two ways it is affecting. So if I just summarize whatever you have just told me, whatever you all have just shared, if I summarize this in 2 points, Jainism, when it works on your soul, it makes you very emotionally responsible and strong. It makes you your EQ, I think, emotional quotient in your spiritual quotient for sure, higher, and it tells you that how to pass the test of time. Like when you are stuck in life in extreme situation, it becomes your moral support. The concepts of Jainism, they help you to stay stronger and to just hang in there while everything shatters around. So that's how it repairs your soul. And at the same time, it also builds your character, which is more of body driven. What to eat, what not to eat, what to drink, what not to drink, how to walk, how to use things around you, and how to, and to what extent allow luxury to get into your life as well, right? So that way, it actually does a two-way job. Not only it filters our soul, it also polishes our character. Like overall, what we do with our life, with this whole body thing, which has been attached to us. We are soul, right? And this body is different. But we become so responsible correcting our soul that automatically this body also has that scent of character because of the purity of our thoughts. So in two ways, Jainism has been actually, what should I say, transforming lives around globe since centuries, or since Tirthankar Mahavir, since Tirthankar Rishabdev, and I don't know, since time immemorial, we cannot even say how many lives the Jainism has transformed. So that's why we all are here to learn about it and to just know in more depth how best we can use it for our betterment. So the topic that I have today for you is a very basic one. And that's how the Jainism begins from, and because we have to reach to that ultimate happiness. I'm going to talk about things that you already know, but it will not be in the way that you know. We'll be talking and we'll be discussing about it. So we'll be talking about the 5 Parmeshtis and the famous Namokar mantra that we all chant daily on a daily basis. Even before going to sleep, we also chant it, right? So it's very pristine mantra that we have of our religion. So we're talking about the 5 Parmeshtis and the Namokar mantra. But before we start talking about Parmeshtis, I would want to know how many of you have, how many of you know the meaning of the word Parmeshti? Anybody knows what Parmeshti is? Have you ever heard about the Parmeshti word? Right, I think you all must have. In Pachala, right? Parmeshti is quite a very popular word, right? So we have 5 Parmeshtis: Arihant Parmeshti, Siddha Parmeshti, Acharya Parmeshti, Upadhyaya Parmeshti, and Sadhu Parmeshti. So everybody knows the name, I think, because we all know. Anybody in this class who does not remember Namokar mantra? I think everybody does. I'll believe so. If not, do not worry. We'll actually be learning it as well. So it's fine. But so in Namokar mantra, we actually go down to 5 Parmeshtis. So I'm not asking you the name of the 5 Parmeshtis. I'm asking you about the meaning of the word Parmeshti, or what do you understand from Parmeshti? When it's called Parmeshti, what does it mean? Right? I see 2 hands that are raised. Yes. But I would want, Siana, I think we have not asked you anything as yet. Have you heard about this word Parmeshti ever?
I've heard of it, but I'm not entirely sure like the correct meaning of it.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Can you just, you know, just say whatever it comes. When you hear this word, whatever comes to your mind. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but are they all like some sort of like teacher? Because they've all like gone like through one of the stages. But I'm
Yeah.
not entirely.
So in you know Namokar mantra, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So in Namokar mantra, we go down to 5 Parmeshtis. So these 5 can be called supreme souls because we're going down to them, right? Obvious reasons. Because we're going down to these 5 people, they already get an edge over us. They're superior to us. So they're the 5 supreme beings. So Param means supreme. Ishti means who is in such a position which we actually find adorable, which we ourselves want ourselves to be. So 5 Parmeshtis are the supreme souls. They're the supreme beings. They are the beings that we idealize, that we want to become, that we want ourselves to transform into. Okay, 5 Parmeshti. So because they're supreme, do they have superpowers? Do they do something wonderful? Do they have this energy or the superpowers, the majestic powers to make our lives happier? Can they do something? Can they have some impact on our lives? Let's say, if I ask you directly, does Mahavir Bhagwan have power to transform your life? How many of you believe that yes, he can transform our lives? Mahavir Bhagwan, the last Tirthankara. If you believe that he can, just raise your hand. I just simple show of hand would also do. I would want to see. How many of you believe that Mahavir Bhagwan can transform your life? Lord Mahavira can transform your life. Yeah. If you believe that he can, just raise your hand. Okay. Niyam thinks he cannot. He cannot. Isn't it a quite offending? Oh, Niyam, Mahavir Bhagwan cannot transform your life, or can he? Can he? Okay, okay. So I see a few of you actually feels that Mahavir Bhagwan can. So that's what the word is. Word is Parmeshti. And with Parmeshti word, many of us might get confused that, okay, because they're supreme souls, the supreme beings, is it possible for them that they're also equipped with superpowers? They are the protector of the universe. They can save our planet, right? Do you follow any superheroes? Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Iron Man, right? All these protectors of the universe, right? So any of the five Parmeshtis, do they also have these powers? Hmm? Do they have these superpowers? Do you think they can have some serious impact on your life? For this, in the last class that we learned about it. So I'm sharing a quick, short, funny video. Let's have a look of that video and let's see what sense can we make out of it, right? So the question is, do these five Parmeshtis are super souls? The answer is yes, they're the superior souls, the supreme souls, right? They're the supreme beings. But if they are the supreme beings and we idealize them, first assess what do they do? Do they have any impact on this universe? Can they actually have the power to transform our lives? If I'm adoring them, are they going to help us? Can there be any possibility of a transaction that I give them prayer and we receive certain reciprocating gifts from them? Can the deal actually happen, right? We need to know that. So for that, first try to understand the world and what madness is going into the world. So it's a funny video. Just have a look at it and then we'll discuss about it. But I'm going to ask each one of you your observation on that video. Yeah. Did you see the superhuman? He actually halted a moving train and then he actually pushed it to, make it run, right? So I would want, Niam, what was the reaction? Like, what did you see in this video? Yes.
I saw a person running with the train and then
Then he
making
stopped the
action to
train,
push
right?
it.
Stopped the train, right? That person?
I think it stopped by itself.
He did not, okay, he did not stop it, but then he actually pushed it to actually gain its own momentum, its own speed. Did he?
I think it just what goes by itself, but he
Okay, okay.
sort of like
Yes,
made
Sienna, what
it.
are you saying? Okay, Niam. Yes, Sienna, what's your view?
I think he kind of just timed it, like at the exact same timings.
No, but so is he strong or not? The question is, he's the strongest man of the world, right?
No, he's just smart and he timed it to the right timings.
Okay, okay. I think Sahilji, you are smiling a lot. Tell me what's your observation on this?
I think he's a very good actor. He knows when to get in the position to stop it, and then when to get into the position to move it. So credit to him for that. But yeah, he's a good actor.
He acted it well, but he did not execute it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Great, great, great. Yes, Jana, what's your view?
I think that the engineers that made the train they started it, and then the person just like when the train was coming, it was already like slowing down, but then it was on his like verge of slowing down. So he just put a hand on it and it stopped. And then when it was going again, the driver, like the mechanisms that make the thing work, was already working fast for the
Did
like.
that person have some superpower or not? The whole
No, because he just acted like he tried to, he used his smartness to make like what this
Yeah.
like.
No, but his smartness actually make him look fool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Great, great. So the whole point about this video is that we generally use this video just to make a point that in this world, actually, we have very little influence or zero influence over other things. You know, just like that person, our whole life is. You know, how many of you actually, while wake up in the morning, you guys all wake up in the morning, right? So do you push some button, okay, heart start beating, check breathing, breathe in, breathe out. What do you do to run your body, the whole blood flow that is happening inside your body? What exactly do you do to run your body? Anybody consciously, do you breathe consciously? Okay, breathe in, breathe out. Do you actually make your heart pump? Anybody of you, do you pump your heart so that it beats? Does it happen like that? No, it is automatically happening. Okay, when do you laugh? How many of you can laugh now? Can you tell me? Can you laugh? Let me ask. Yes, Adi, can you show me how to laugh? Yeah, correct. Okay. Now, this is how you can show me, just like what Sahilji just said and what Janav also said. You can act how to laugh. But if I ask you to laugh or ask you to cry, you can act like that, but you cannot cry. You cannot laugh. For laughing or for crying, you need a reason. You need a situation. Is it or not? Right? So we can act. I can tell you how to laugh or how to cry, but I cannot cry just and when you ask me to do it. I need a reason for crying. I need a reason to laugh. Means, do I laugh? Do I cry? Can I laugh? Can I cry? How many of you can cry? Can you raise your hand? Who knows to cry? Janav, seriously, you know how to cry. Can you
When
cry
there,
for me right now?
when there is like a situation, like for an example.
No, if you know, then you can do it in any situation. No. I just ask you to do it, do just cry. Can you cry right now? You can act, but you'll not feel the same pain that you feel when you actually cry. Yes or no? I can ask you to just explode in joy, but you will not actually feel that happiness when you actually listen to a good joke and you just, explode in joy. Yes? So actually what Jainism says is that we actually are on autopilot on our lives. We are not even smiling on our own. We're not on our own. We have very little influence even on our emotions. Let other things be very away. I mean, if I do not have my influence on my emotions, right? Anybody who cries does not want to cry. Do you know somebody who wants to cry and cries? No, it does not happen like that. You do not cry out of choice, it just comes to you. So in Jainism, we have all our emotions that have been defined by no kashai. Hasya, to laugh is a kashai. Rati, to like something is a kashai. To actually feel sad is again a kashai. So Jainism says that everything and everything it does its own work on its own principles, on its own science, and we all are at the same time together sitting. So just like that person timed his skills in a very timely manner, he tried halting the train. Similarly, whatever we do, we actually time it, and then we get this illusion that I halted the train. But the reality is something very different. It's very much different from what we actually assume it to be. So when we talk about Parmeshtis, that's why our Bhagwan, that whom we call Parmeshti, whom we idolize, we do not give them any duty of this world that, oh Lord, you actually have made this world. You have actually done some wonders to this world. Thank you that you have made Narak. Thank you that you have made Swarg. Thank you that you have made animals. Thank you that you have made humans. In senses, if somebody is, why will he make hell? See, just like, let's take it for a case. Whom should I ask? Nija, right? If assume that you're a god, okay, and you have the responsibility to craft this whole universe, would you create poverty? Would you create all the bias that we have, all the differences that we have? Would you create anything that looks ugly? See, if I design my house, so do you also make one room which is hellish? Like, you feel like, okay, in this room, I'm going to just beat everyone and we all are going to cry and, just tear everything apart. Do you do this? Anybody? We design our houses, right? We design our houses. We design, okay, I want to make one hotel. I want to make one property. I want to make one garden. I want to keep everything at its best. I don't even want even the washrooms have to be, bright and shiny and beautiful. Even the washrooms, nobody's going to see. Okay, bhai, kaisa aapne, how have you designed your washrooms? Nobody's interested in washrooms, right? But when we are given the responsibility to craft something, we attempt to make best of it. We craft it with so much of sense, with so much prudence, with so much art and architecture that we want to make it the best, right? That's what we do. So if any sensible person with limited knowledge like us, we have very limited knowledge and we are crafting something and we keep all the things that are ugly, all the things that may sound a bit shady, that may offer us a bit suffering, we keep those away. We do not want those things, not for us, not for the guest, whoever is going to visit, right? So if somebody is omniscient, who knows everything, why would he craft a world that has so much of inequality, races, religions? Then you have Devgati, Naragati, so many sufferings, such a big gap between the rich and the poor, the meek animals being slaughtered, the poor people are actually just dominating and harassing them. Why would someone of such stature, such big brain, would design a world like this? So Jainism keeps these five parmeshtis off all these duties. No, nobody crafted this world. If we tell anybody that, oh, thank you for creating this world, it's not a compliment. It's actually an insult. Because if somebody had created this mess, that person need not be thanked. He needs to be cursed then, right? Because he created a mess. Nobody likes mismanagement. Nobody likes differences. Am I making sense? Can you relate to what I'm saying? That's why when we say Parameshthi, we never assume our Bhagwan doing something to any of this world. They're not doing something to us. They're not doing something to sun, to moon, to earth, to Nandishwar, to Devgati, to Naragati. The five Parameshthis, all that they do is to themselves. It remains with them. And that's what they actually embody. They are the embodiment of those principles that whatever we do is we do unto ourselves. Whatever we do, it just comes back to us. If I am angry at you, no, I'm not angry at you. I'm angry at myself. If I hurt you, no, I'm not hurting you. I'm hurting myself. It looks like that I'm screaming at you. But no, I am screaming at myself. That's how this whole thing works. And that's why when we talk about five Parmeshthis, it's not about a god who is, loaded with all the superpowers, all the great equipments of destruction, who can, in his one snap, who can create this world, and another snap, who can destroy the world. No, we do not want such god, and such gods do not exist. And if they exist who created this world, I'm sorry, but I will not accept them as a god. Okay. I think Siana has a question. Yes, Siana. And correct me if I'm not.
Sorry, a question, but I'm not entirely sure. But I think that the other religions justify like all of like the poverty and inequality and everything as like a test or something, because we were doing it in like RS, and they were saying that like God is only benevolent and he's testing people or something like that. But then why does he need
So
tests?
we are in the giant scientific lab of God where he's experimenting on us, like we do on
Yeah.
parents.
I think that's kind of what they believe, that it's like a test, but I don't agree with it. But yeah,
No,
I
but
think that's it.
even if that's true, Sienna, even if that's true, would you adore a scientist who does this to rats on his laboratory? Would you idealize that person?
No, I'm not saying it's good. I'm just
No,
saying
no,
that's
I'm not saying that you are saying it. They're just putting it on floor for everybody. That even if somebody in his wildest imagination says so, that okay, it's the great thought of the God to put us through all these mess, all these roller coaster ride of emotions and this hysteria that we all are playing through. Yeah, somebody might say, okay, it's his will and it's all his, we all are just the game for him, for his entertainment, for his amusement. But no, in real world, if somebody kidnaps a person and keeps that person in his house for his entertainment, that's a slavery, that's a crime. We call that person a criminal, not a god to adore that person. So we have to put it on floor, right? Even if you imagine a god and a scientist or somebody who's experimenting on life, whatever it is. And then if he's omniscient, why does he need any experiments? He knows everything, right? So it all just cross checks and the logic doesn't settle. And then we choose to not believe in it. That's how it works. So some people also say that, okay, God manufactured, he created this world, right? That's what they did. But then Jainism, it has a counter argument to it. It's very interesting one. So we ask, okay, okay, let's settle on this. God has created this world, fine, agreed. Okay, so where did he create it exactly? Upper world, middle world, lower world, somewhere? Was he sitting somewhere? Yes, he was sitting somewhere. Okay, so where he was sitting, did he create that space or that space was before him without he creating it? Okay, space, who creates space? Space is of forever. Okay, fine. So space was already pre-existing with that God, right? Okay, fine. Okay, so while he was creating it, did he utilize some time? So did he also create the time? Because it must have taken some time when he did this whole Genesis, right? So did he also create time first? If at all he created time, when did he create time? Because whenever he'll be doing, the time will be pre-existing. If at all he created space, sitting where did he create space? And when he did not, when he had not created the space, where was he living? Where was he dwelling? So no, space and time, they pre-exist, right? Logically, we can all settle on this. And if we are willing three people to exist without creation, the God himself, the space, and the time. So when out of six substances, you're willing to accept that three were already created before without anybody's creation, then what is wrong in believing that I was also not created by anybody? You're anyway giving this logic to those particular three substances, right? You're willing to believe that God existed before without anybody creating him. The God, the fictitious one, and the one you are, you can actually feel, touch, sense. You're saying, no, I was created by that fictitious person who I believe was existing without any creation, without anybody's creation. Now that's very flawed. We are being very rude to ourselves then. We're not giving our existence any credit, and we're crediting this existence to somebody who is actually imaginary, right? So that's why Jainism says no, nobody created anybody. We all existed always, like everything does. If we try to investigate where the sun came from, where the moon came from, where the stars come from, you can have just these scientific explanations to them, but who created them, how they formed, all these things are just on research papers. We do not have any evidence of how it works, how it happens. So in Jainism, the concept of Parmeshtis is not to say that they are beings full of superpowers. They have superpower that they know everything. That's their superpower. They are they are the benefactors of supreme bliss. They are eternally happy. That's their superpower. They're contented to themselves. They do not need anything of this world to be happy. That's the kind of freedom that they have got. So that's a beautiful concept of a Lord, somebody whom we idolize, somebody whom we adore in Jainism, which I feel is pretty, actually, I'm really proud of this, self-reliant theory of Jainism, that it does not tell you to go down to somebody who is actually bully, right? Somebody who bullies you, you need not, that's actually, surrendering to exploitation. That's a crime, right? So it's really, for me, I find myself very lucky and fortunate that I have got Parmeshthis who actually tell me to not bow down to them but to myself. They tell me that, oh, you are also a soul, you are eternal, just like every other thing is. And if you are going down to us, have you ensured that you have acknowledged your own existence? Do you know that you are pretty well evolved existence? You yourself are a Bhagwan, a complete soul, and it's all within you that can actually make you full of happiness, contentment, and whatnot, whatever you deserve. It's all is there inside you. So that's the word Parmeshti does not denote that they actually uh, take charge of anything who is away from their existence. They are the super souls who actually have conquered themselves and not the world. And when one conquers itself, the world automatically surrenders in front of them. And that's what has happened to these five Parmeshtis. Okay, their name is simple. Their name is Arihanta, Siddha, Acharya, Upadhyay, and Sadhu. It's a very interesting gatha. It's a text 2000-year old written by Acharya Kunkundev. We'll be taking it up in the next week's class. But the whole point that we made today is that what is the, like, whom do we actually idolize and adore? It's not somebody who has all the boundaryless, all the powers that he can do harm to anyone, he can bully anyone. No, that's not the concept of God in Jainism. Is in Jainism, it's a very simple concept that we all have the same nature. I'm not somebody who is greater than you. You're not somebody who is smaller than me. No, we all are equal. And if we realize that we all are equal and we just give ourselves enough respect and we actually treat everybody with enough sensitivity, with enough maturity, with acknowledging everybody's existence, in a way we'll actually make this life a life worth living, and which we must do. Okay, just to end today's discussion, I'll just run a 30-second small video, and maybe we can start our classes from that, and we'll do.
Anubhav, I think Niyam had a question.
Yeah, who has a question? Sorry.
Niyam.
Yes. Yeah.
I was gonna ask, didn't all the gods become a god like every million years to the 24 gods change?
Yeah.
So then no one could have created anything then. No god could have created anything because they changed.
Exactly. No, it's not that they're changing. No, the gods do not get changed. They become God and they rest in peace and bliss. They rest in bliss, right? They are eternally happy now. They're enjoying their existence, right? Every million years, just like you said, 24 specific souls get that beautiful chance to become Tirthankara. But at the same time, there are infinite souls that can still become Bhagwan. Normal Bhagwan, not Tirthankara, which is our second chapter. We'll be discussing about that as well. So yes, because constantly new God is coming and becoming Arihanta, becoming Siddha, it also proves that nobody made this universe. It's all everybody made themselves happy, happier, Parmeshthi, Arihanta, Siddha. That's the whole point. Great point, yeah. Thank you. Okay, so we'll just have this small video and we'll conclude for today's class. So just look at it. It's about, some people ask, they say, okay, Jainism is about the inner beauty. So why do we need to go down when the gods have not done anything to us? Why should we bow down to them when they do not protect us, when they do not give us any of Ashirvad, any of the blessings? Because they're so happy in themselves, they're so busy in actually experiencing their own place. So why should we? So, a very small story I'm going to leave you with. You can contemplate on it entire week, and then we'll begin with it. Just a second, I think. Okay, this one was a quite simpler one. Yeah, so we will begin with this video in the next class, and we'll start learning about the 5 Parmeshtis from a different perspective. Till then, if you have any questions, you can ask me right now, or if at all, if you want to say, if you have any questions during the week, you can actually write it to me. I'll share my email address or WhatsApp number as well. So let's start with 5 Parmeshtis and Namokar Mantra in the next class. But actually, think about this video. It was just about an UFO that came down to Earth, and it did something disastrous for itself. It's in connection with the 5 Parmeshtis. So I leave you with that thought. Thank you so much.
Anubhavji,
Yeah.
if you can share that little video clip, I can send it to them.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll do that.
Also, one suggestion, maybe for homework, just a short homework for the children and the participants, sorry, that they can take or write down a short synopsis of what you explained, starting from the video clip that you shared, explaining how that connected to the Parmeshti topic.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
I think that would be a nice, just like a paragraph.
Just a paragraph, just simple synopsis. 3-4 lines would do, I think. But we would just want so that it does not occupy much of your already busy schedule. But just do that. I'll share the clip. If you can write something that according to your understanding, because when we think in that way, it helps. It actually polishes our understanding of that particular content. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. So we'll just quickly have Chinmani Stuti and we'll wind up the class. Join our hands. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है उसके लिए चिन्वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार उसके लिए चिन्वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार. Jai Shri Ram. Thank you, everyone.
Page number. Thank you.